Hey, it's Sid. Welcome to my acquisition log slash haul for September of 2023. I got a lot of stuff this month, a lot of pickups that weren't new releases, but I'm going to start with new releases as usual, starting with probably lower number of publishers to higher number, something like that. So, first of all, I'm going to start with my two Square Enix titles. I have My Happy Marriage Volume of 4. I think this actually catches up to the manga, but I'm not quite sure. Well, catches up to the manga published in Japan. I know there's a few of my series that are like that right now. Then we have Demons of the Shadow Realm, Volume 2. This is by Hiromu Arakawa, the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist. Then we have One Piece Books new release, which is The Villainess, level 99. I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the Demon Lord. This is the debut volume of that manga. Then we have starting with Kodansha, we have the 11th volume of Nishijo, which originally completed at 10, but started republication this year at 11. Not republication, but pick back up on publication. Then we have Welcome Back Alice by Shuzo Oshimi, Volume 5. Next up, we have Go-Go Loser Ranger, Volume 5. Volume 6. Then we have Shonen Note, Volume 5. Next up, we have Quality Assurance in Another World, Volume 3. This was originally a pickup for my partner, but I ended up liking it more than he did, I guess. Then we're starting to get into the oversized Kodansha. Actually, that was the last Kodansha. We're starting to get into the oversized yen press. First of all, we have Magical Girl Incident, Volume 2. It's another one that's pretty close to catching up with however many there are in Japan right now. Next, we have The Horizon, Volume 2. This is the same, it's a manhwa by the same author of The Boxer. I think this is a much better story than The Boxer, but I just didn't like The Boxer personally. Next, we have The Essence of Being a Muse, Volume 2. This is going to wrap up in the next volume, I believe. And next, we have Doomsday with My Dog, Volume 3. Then we have Last Yen Press manhwa, which is The Abandoned Empress, Volume 6. This is getting pretty close to the end of this series. It's another manhwa that's ending at about 10 or so volumes. Then we have the final volume of Sorry for My Familiar, starting off our 7 Cs. Next up is J.K. Haru is a Sex Worker in Another World, Volume 6. Apparently this is the semi-final volume. I don't think the final volume's even released in Japan yet. Next, we have a twofer because I was negligent and forgot to pick up 100 Girlfriends Volume 6. So we have Volume 6 and Volume 7 of the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Both of these are Ghost Ship. And 2.5 Dimensional Seduction, Volume 7. This is another Ghost Ship series. I think these are the only... There's not very many Ghost Ship series I'm collecting. I think J.K. Haru is too. Fan service doesn't tend to be my sort of thing, but I think it does a good job in the series that I have from Ghost Ship so far. Then we have Who Made Me a Princess, Volume 2, starting our 7 Cs oversized. Next up, we have Soloist in a Cage, Volume 2. This one's also ending on the 3rd volume. Next up is My Stepmother and Stepsisters Aren't Wicked, Volume 2. Yes, Volume 2. Thought it was 3 for a second. Then we have another manhwa by 7 Cs, which is Killing Stalking, Volume 4. This is my partner's pickup, but I'm reading it too. Next up, we have a thick omnibus from 7 Cs, Homunculus, Volumes 3 to 4. I'm not reading this one, but I don't want to separate new releases into mine and my partner's because that would take way too long. And also, there's like 5 books that he's reading that I'm not, maybe. Then we have The Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, Volume 3. This is the manhwa, not the novel, or not the danme. Then we have the final volume of The Girl from the Other Side, Volume 4. This does include the last 2 volumes of the original series and the side story volume. That's CL Arun Side Stories, I think. I don't remember the exact name of it. I didn't just hit myself with that. I'll talk about that more in my reading log. Then we have The Eccentric Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom, Volume 3. And lastly, for our 7 C's, we have Don't Call It Mystery, Volumes 3 to 4 by Yumi Tamura, acclaimed shoujo artist and mangaka extraordinaire. Then we are going to cover 3 Tokyo Pop releases before we finish off Yen Press and start the pile of Viz. So first of all, we have Sengoku Yoko, Volume 3. I did not mess that up that time. Next up is If My Favorite Pop Idol Made It to the Budokan, I Would Die, Volume 2. And lastly, for Tokyo Pop, we have At 30, I Realized I Had No Gender. This came out a while ago, but it somehow slipped through our radar of pickups. And then we've got 4 Yen Press releases to cover before Viz. So first of all, we have the final volume of Sotas. Kind of surprised it ended at only 3 volumes, but I'll talk about that more later. Next, we have 2 volumes of Miyuruko-chan. We have Miyuruko-chan Volume 8, and we have a Miyuruko-chan official anthology. And lastly, for Yen Press, we have the debut volume of Maiden of the Needle. I think light novels also being published currently over here. All right, now starting with Viz, technically Sublime with the first one, we have Old Fashioned Cupcake with Cappuccino. This is the sequel to Old Fashioned Cupcake. I can't remember if there's going to be a third one or not, but they're not labeled with numbers, so I don't fuss too much about it. Then we have Mashal Volume 13, starting the Shonen Jump. Next, we have Mal Volume 13. This one's actually Shonen Sunday. Then we have some Shoujo Beat with Like a Butterfly 2. These are in alphabetical order, so I'm kind of jumping between Shoujo Beat, Shonen Jump, and Shonen Sunday. Then we have Volume 7 of Imakoi from under Shoujo Beat. Next, we have Volume 5 of Helk. Then we have Volume 3 of Dark Gathering. Next, we have Chainsaw Man Volume 12. This is picking back up where Volume 11 left off a while ago. A lot of people are anticipating that release. And next is Blue Box Volume 6. Then we have Blade of the Moon Princess Volume 1. This is a debut series by the creator of Spy Family. This is already finished publication in Japan. It's just an older series that was picked up probably because Spy Family's so big over here. Next is Until I Love Myself Volume 2. Then Insomniacs After School Volume 3, I think. Yes, Volume 3. And this is starting the Viz Sigs. Then we have Fist of the North Star Volume 10, about the halfway point in this series. Next is Dracula Midnight Children. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I think this is the first Shinichi Sakamoto series we've gotten in the West. At least the first one that I'm aware of. I'm sure somebody might correct me if I'm wrong. Lastly, for our new releases, we have Alice in Borderland Volume 7. This series is ending in, I think, Volume 9. So 2 more volumes. And next, I'm going to talk about pickups that aren't new releases, stuff that released a while ago that we're just getting around to picking up now because it's on sale or because we just wanted to. All right, we're going to start with my pickups for the non-new releases, starting with Grand Guignol Orchestra, Volume 1. This is a Shoujo Beat series, very old one. And then we have Volumes 2, 3, and 5 of Given. It's a pretty popular BL series. Fine motor skills are not easy with these things on. So trying to manipulate multiple books at once is a chore. Then we have the debut volume of Demon Love Spell. Next we have 3 volumes of Coyote, which actually gets me caught up to the series, volumes 2, 3, and 4. I didn't know if 4 came out this month or came out before that, but I'm just going to include it with the rest of them just to be safe. Next up, we have another series caught up. This one's actually a completed series, which is Black Torch. We picked up volumes 2 through 5. There's currently an anime or a manga being published by this author. I think it's called Heart Gear. It's being published by this author over here, I should say. It's not my speed, but this one looks more interesting to me. Yes, and that's volume 5. Then we have 1 volume of Devilman Grimoire. This is the very first one. I started collecting both of the Devilman spin-offs before I even started collecting Devilman, so that's interesting. Then we have Captain Harlock Dimensional Voyage, volumes 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. This is a spin-off of Captain Harlock that I believe when I looked it up, this is what it said, that it's a sort of retelling of the series. This one's going to be 10 volumes, so it's going to take me a while to catch up to the series. And I probably don't want to read it until after I actually collect and read Captain Harlock. Yes. These multiple volumes at one time are not easy for me to move. And then we have the first volume of Manly Appetites. Is there a subtitle? Minigishi Loves Otsu. This is a BL office romance cooking series. Mainly picked it up because I thought my partner would like it, but I might like it too. And then, let's see. Continuing on with more Viz series, we have 3 volumes of Yona of the Dawn. We have volumes 3, 5, and 23. This is another one that's going to take me a long time to catch up on, especially since it's still ongoing and I have no idea how long it's going to end up being. Then we have the first volume of Sugar Princess, which I think is only going to be 2 volumes. And we have the final volume of Red River, volume 28. There were some that showed up at a local used bookstore, but the ones that they had, I wasn't comfortable paying the price they had, so I only bought one of them for now. Then we have My Hero Academia Vigilantes, volumes 4, 9, 10, and 11. Vigilantes is the last spin-off for My Hero that I haven't collected, light novels notwithstanding, since for the most part I don't really read light novels. So once I'm caught up on that, I'll be done collecting My Hero until new releases come out. Then we've got a lot of Love Me, Love Me Not. We have volumes 3 through 7, 9 through 11. I honestly do not want to try and show you the front of every single one of these. I do want to mention these little... when I bought them at the used bookstore, they had these little markers in there. And when I read the series, I want to be able to see what they were trying to mark and see what type of moments there were. I think that's just really neat. And finishing up the Viz for non-new releases, we have volumes 7, 9, 10, and 12 of Kami-sama Kiss. This is only 4 volumes, so I'm fine with flipping through the covers here. I do not have the dexterity to flip through however many Love Me Not was. Alright. And then next up we have oh, I did lie. I put one of the Viz with the other oversized because it fit better. We have Oku Volume 18. This is by the author of What Did You Eat Yesterday, which I'm also been picking up. Next, we have 17Cs, which is the original, or the Cutie Honey series, collected in an omnibus. Since I had Cutie Honey A Go-Go, I wanted to pick up the original omnibus so I could actually read Cutie Honey A Go-Go. And lastly, we have two series from me. We have Tokyo Tarareba Girls, Volume 1. This is from the creator of Princess Jellyfish. And we have Living Room Matsunaga-san, Volumes 3 through 6. And this one also, if you'll notice, one of them has a little sticky note in there. So I imagine somebody was returning or selling old books that they read when they were a child, or, you know, I feel like teenagers are the most likely to have like these little markings in their books. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just talking out my ass here. Okay, and that's all for me. Then we have the rest of these are all series my partner picked up. So we have 4 Pokemon series. We have Pokemon Giratina and the Sky Warrior. Then Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back. Evolution specifically. Then Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea. And Pokemon The Rise of Darkrai. We've got one other Shonen Jump series, or Shonen Sunday series, that is Kekaishi Volume 38. Volume 34. I think this is a couple volumes away from the final volume. We are nowhere near collecting all of this yet. Then we have volumes 1, 2, 3, 7, and 9 of Servamp. I know practically nothing about this series, but he seemed interested in it, so hey, maybe I'll try it if he likes it. All I know is I did look up the author's other work, and they have done a lot of yaoi, so do with that what you will. I've heard the series looks gay, but I don't think it actually has anything gay in it. Of course, no spoilers. I might read it one day. I'm sure you can tell that my backlog of reading is probably growing exponentially. Then we have One Piece books release, and that's I Hear the Sunspot. Sure, that's fine very well. And we have one Yen Press book, which is Goblin Slayer Volume 11. We have the last 2 volumes of What Did You Eat Yesterday? He needed to catch up to the series, which is, I think, 7 and 8. Yes. So now he's fully caught up on this gay cooking series. Good for him. And lastly, we have, I put this with him, this is mine, My Only King. This is just an old BL that looked like it might be a fun read. From the front, I really couldn't tell it was a BL, and then I read the back, and I was like, oh, it's gay. At least I think it is. Well, yeah. It says yaoi manga on the bottom, so I'd be surprised if it wasn't. But with that in mind, I am done with talking for today, and I will blather on again in a couple weeks with the reading log for this month, which is not going to be nearly as many books as the acquisition log, because I do not read as much as I need to. But thanks so much for your time and for sticking around with my channel. Let me know anything you want to say in the comments below, and y'all have a good one, alright? Peace.